Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a complimentary quad, man. This is a quad featuring the music of Iron Butterfly, and the songs are as follows. Starting off with Theme in 1968, followed by Unconscious Power, also in 68, followed by Belle the Beast in 69, and finally Easy Rider Live in 1970. So man, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Ron Smith. Ron, thank you, man. Thank you for the recommendations. Thank you for providing links as well. I appreciate that very much. Ron's got a little note here. Let me just read you the note that he sent. Hey man, just following up on the Iron Butterfly quad you did for me in late October. You said at the time you'd like to explore more. Well, here are a few more choices. I know you're busy, brother. Digging the Allman Brothers band, Fillmore East especially. Peace, Ron. So of course Ron sent me this back in December. Thank you for your patience, man, finally getting to it. So yeah, man, hey, let's get this poppin'. Let's start off with Theme. Iron Butterfly Theme. Let's go. All right. Good jam. That was Theme by Iron Butterfly. As this was playing, man, I'm just visualizing some of the concerts back then, some of the parties back then with this kind of music playing, or they're performing something like this at a party and everyone is just, I don't know, just whacked out of their minds, and just jamming to something like this. I imagine this theme was very, very popular back in the day for a lot of reasons. I'm just guessing. All right, man. Let's get to know these guys a little bit better. I want to know them a little bit more beyond just Inagata de Vida. So, let's do a little read here, man. Okay. Yeah, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing more album info rather than song details. But let's do that. Let's read a little album info, man. So, Theme appears on the album Live at the Galaxy, 1967. Live at the Galaxy, 1967 is a 2014 unofficial live album by American psychedelic rock band Iron Butterfly, recorded on July 4th of 67 at the Galaxy Theater in LA, and released as digital download on Digipack CD and deluxe colored 180-gram vinyl LP on the Purple Pyramids Records and Cleopatra Records label. Man, that was a big ass sentence. That was the first period since I started reading. It features the first original lineup of the band performing their early singles and songs from their debut album Heavy, which was released a little more than 6 months later. That was January 22nd of 68. It was recorded live at the historic Galaxy Club located in the heart of the Sunset Strip in LA with a microphone from the audience. That's quite interesting. Reception. Fred Thomas of AllMusic didn't give a rating. The album was called grainy, and that the band was captured in their earliest, roughest form, working out songs heavy on organ stabs and blues riffing. It was described as spirited jamming, and a particularly sharp club performance in general. The performance of the Iron Butterfly theme was regarded a high point on the road. The audio quality was on par with other obscure audience-recorded artifacts of its era by psych bands like the Electric Prunes and others. Unquote. And that's a review from Fred Thomas of AllMusic. And that's all the info given on Theme and Live at the Galaxy in 67. Overall, though, I don't think that it's a bad review. He's just saying that it's very, very, he had a whole bunch of different things to say about it. Grainy, particularly sharp. Theme was a high point on the record. The audio quality was on par with obscure audience-recorded artifacts. So yeah, not a negative review, just also pointing out the pros and the cons of the album, I think. So that overall is not negative. All right, man. So let's leave it there with Theme, and let's bounce to our second track, that being Unconscious Power. All right, man. Iron Butterfly, Unconscious Power. Let's get it.
We all want to prepare you. The unbelievable is going to happen. It will linger in your mind forever. Let this carry you wherever, wherever. Dream.
Great singer, isn't he?
Sensations of every sense will prevail. With this you will see everything. Triggering the unconscious power.
Listen to that great bass work in the background. The rhythm section is stunning.
I say to you, nothing for now. For now, we know all. We know all. We know all. We know all.
All right. So that was Unconscious Power. It's a good jam. I think if I can remember my previous reactions, I think this is the fastest jam I've heard from them, Unconscious Power. I could be wrong, but I'm feeling I can't recall any other that had such a fast-moving, almost galloping pace as this one did. Good song, good beat. They're great musicians, man. Nice, full sound, you know. The bass work is excellent. The rhythm section, they're great, man. Yeah, and this guy's voice, holy cow, what a great singing voice. Can you imagine having a singing voice like that? Damn. Alright, man. So, okay, same situation again with Unconscious Power. No song information really, just album info. And that in itself is just very, very little. Just two paragraphs. So let's check it out anyway. So, Unconscious Power. Unconscious Power appears on the album Heavy. And Heavy is the debut studio album by rock band Iron Butterfly, released in early '68. The first two tracks, Unconscious Power and Possession, were released as respective sides of a single. Three of the group's members, Daryl DeLoach, Jerry Penrod, and Danny Weiss, Weiss, W-E-I-S, left the band shortly after the album was recorded, leaving Ingle and Bushy to find replacements. Despite being a debut album with no hit single to provide an entry point for the casual listener, Heavy was a commercial success, reaching number 78 on the Billboard charts, and eventually going gold in the US. Background. Iron Butterfly had amassed a considerable body of material by the time Heavy was recorded, much of which was held over for later albums. In addition to the 10 songs on Heavy, songs from this era include Inagata da Vida, later recorded for the album of the same name, Lonely Boy, Real Fright, Filled with Fear, all later recorded for Belle. Evil Temptation, an instrumental version of which was later used as the B-side to Possession, It's All Up to You, and Gloomy Day to Remember. Reception. AllMusic's Stephen Thomas Erlewine rated Heavy 3.5 out of 5 stars. He stated that most of the album was not particularly well written, but that the band's overwhelmingly loud sonic attack occasionally made up for the weakness in the material, unquote. Alright, well that is all the information given, man, for the song and the album. And again, not so much a negative review as it is just focusing on pros and cons, specifics of that sort. But overall, still pretty decent rating. 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's pretty good. And you know, let's face it, it's just the impression of one damn critic. All right, man. So let's check out our third track, man, and that being Belle Beast. All right, Iron Butterfly, Belle Beast. Let's get it.
Size is decreasing under transparent purple skies. The life you've chased, seen through my eyes, was distorted, filled with lies. Your hopes are bouncing in front of your eyes as you jump to catch them, floating so high. Bye bye. A top comes a spinning into your life, and you've reached the heights.
Bass guitarist is excellent.
Threatening destruction in a way that we know too well. Sitting on the limb of love with my friends, sitting here all alone. Life without malice, can you call this bluff? And say without knowing, it's hard enough. Bye bye. A top comes a spinning into your life, and you've reached the heights.
All right. That was a trip, that one, man. I gotta listen to that one again, just to connect to it and get a really good grasp on exactly what he's trying to convey, what he's trying to say. I know that it has a theme of loss and bewilderment, but there's more to it. I gotta listen to it more. I gotta say though that the instrumentals, man, it just kept taking me off. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get back to the lyrics a little bit and try and see what the message is. I always try and take that away with me when I listen to a song. Don't always have to focus so deeply on lyrics, but sometimes, you know, it does have something significant to teach you. And so I try that balance between really paying attention to the great musicianship and all of those elements there and experiencing the lift and all of that, but at the same time too, trying to keep within confines so I can get the gist of the meaning of the message and the song or whatever it is, the statement that they're trying to make. So I find that it's quite a mental exercise to do when you're doing reactions, man. Great song overall though, man. Excellent musicianship. The guy singing is just fantastic. And where do these guys rank where it comes to psychedelic rock bands of their particular era? Where were they? Of course, as soon as you say psychedelic, to me, I'm thinking of like Jefferson Airplane. But where were they? Were they rubbing shoulders on par with them, or were they just one notch below? And if that's the case, why was that? Obviously, they're talented. Obviously, they're skilled and all that sort of thing. Did they get in a lot of trouble with recording labels? Were they indulging excessively in things or whatever? Give me a rundown of who these guys are and where they were relative to their times and their peers, the people who were also doing the psychedelic rock thing back then. That'd be really good. I need a kind of a big picture overview. All right, man. So, and one of the reasons why I'm saying that is that I'm not getting a lot here from Wikipedia. And once again, it's about just album information and just general stuff. Nothing detailed, no stories, no interviews from artists or anything like that. Just factual information. But anyway, hey, let's just read that. That's all we got. So we got 2 paragraphs. Let's read that. So, Belle the Beast. Belle the Beast appears on the album Ball. Ball is the 3rd studio album by rock band Iron Butterfly, released in January of '69. After the enormous success of Inagata da Vida, Iron Butterfly modified its acid rock sound somewhat and experimented with more melodic compositions. The band's trademark heavy guitars, however, are still evident on such tracks as In the Time of Our Lives and It Must Be Love. The album reached number 3 on the Billboard 200 charts, making Ball more immediately successful than Inagata da Vida. Ball was certified gold in March of '69. It also spawned 2 minor hit singles, Soul Experience, an uncharacteristically uplifting song for the group, went to number 75 on the Billboard charts, and despite its nightmarish musical tones and morbid lyrics, In the Time of Our Lives managed to reach number 96. This is the second and final studio album to feature the famous lineup of Ingle, Bushy, Dorman, and Brand. In 1999, Collector's Choice Music released Ball with 2 bonus tracks, I Can't Help But Deceive You, Little Girl, and To Be Alone, which previously were available only on a 7-inch single, although I Can't Help But Deceive You, Little Girl had been released on the '93 compilation Light and Heavy. And reception. AllMusic rated Ball 3 out of 5 stars. Reviewer Stephen Thomas Erlewine explained that the quality is wildly inconsistent, but that it was a more ambitious album than Inagata da Vida. He concluded by calling it a more consistent album than their 2 previous records. Unquote. Okay. Alright, so that is info given on Belle the Beast and the album Ball. It's an okay review. In the end, where it comes to me as a reactor, it's a matter of, hey, I like it and I would listen to it again. So basically that's my verdict. If that's worth anything, yeah, I would certainly listen to it again and I like it very much. I would actually like to listen to the entire album, you know, and kind of get a feel for the whole album. And if I really like the whole album, just make that a part of my playlist. That's how I roll. All right, man. So let's bounce to our fourth and final track, that being Easy Rider, Let the Wind Pay the Way. All right. Easy Rider, Let the Wind Pay the Way. Let's get it.
Wait for the weekend treat. But easy rider,
Funky jam. Okay, all right. Good jam, man. Excellent jam.